you've introduced some concepts, strategy, and all of that. Now, here we are. This is a document. By the way, this is a document talking about the Agenda 2063, which has the UNDP logo, which means UNDP has been an integral partner from the beginning up to the end as far as Agenda 2063 is concerned. And look, every single day there's a conference, there's a summit, there is a workshop going on regarding Agenda 2063. And here you are saying that Africa does not have a strategy for the rest of the world. Could you expatiate on that? Are we just involved in tactical issues alone without a clear strategy to achieve the broader goals?
Thank you very much. The Agenda 2063 and the Sustainable Development Goals are 90% aligned.
Absolutely.
That's in theory.
Sure. That's a theory.
In theory,
right,
because you have everything there,
yeah,
but you have to find a way of operationalizing it. Operationalizing it means walking the talk of the alignment. And I always tell my colleagues and fellow development experts that if seminars, conferences, or workshops are instrument of development, Africa will have become a paradise by today.
Interesting.
We've had thousands and even millions of meetings and conferences, but we need to walk the talk. So in this, how do we translate some of these strategies we have into concrete development actions on the ground? That's the missing link. And that's why we need various actors under the leadership of the African Union to really champion this cause of how do we effectively operationalize these strategies. It's not only this. If you look at the African Continental Free Trade area,
sure,
it's another solid document. But have we really initiated the process of operationalizing it? How can you be talking about Africa Continental Free Trade area where you don't have concrete rule of origin? How can you be talking of African Continental Free Trade area when you don't have what they call compensation mechanism for losers and those that are benefiting from it? And how do you talk about Africa Continental Free Trade area when you have what they call psychological war in Africa, where Africa consumes what it doesn't produce and produces what it doesn't consume? So how do you facilitate that? So these are concrete things we need to really put in place to walk the talk of turning the strategy into concrete actions on the ground.
Yeah, but look, I get a bit confused from the discussion, the way you are going. You are the same guys who give these people the money. I mean, if you take the budget of Africa Continental Free Trade Area, for instance, only 4% of that budget is financed by African countries. 96% are from donors, where UNDP sits at the table with them on all of those things. So when you guys meet, what do you tell the African leaders?
Well, it's very, very clear that you have to really ensure that you invest in your future. Absolutely. If you don't invest in your future, you may be giving opportunity for people to shape your strategy for you. And shape the strategy and the future for you. So in this regard, I think your level of commitment is a function of the resources you are putting into it.
Absolutely.
So if you look at 4% relative to 96% is an indication that you are not committed to the strategy you've put in place. You have to really show that you are heavily committed by putting your resources there so that you can shape this trajectory and the direction of your development. So that's one thing that is really very important. And I really, on the basis of this, I think we need to really find a way of implementing some of the initiatives that have been put in place, particularly President Paul Kagame's report on financing the African Union. And I think we need to really make sure need to be more inward-looking in terms of generating resources for us to finance our development. Development partners are supposed to be catalytic. They're not supposed to be the core of development driver. So, but if you then reverse the trend, what is supposed to be the catalytic source of funding development to become the core source of funding development, then it might be difficult for you to control the trajectory yourself. So I strongly believe we need to scale up the level of commitment and investment Africa is putting on its own development.